You're listening to Swift News, your daily news briefing in just 10 minutes. This is episode 49, and it's June 21st, 2025. Let's get into today's stories. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world as it unfolded, well, specifically on June 21st, 2025. We want to pull out the key nuggets, connect some dots, and really help you understand the trends impacting your world.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fascinating how much you can get from just one day's news cycle, right?
Yeah.
Synthesizing it lets us see underlying patterns and maybe figure out the so what behind the headlines.
Exactly. Trying to make sense of it all without the overwhelm. So let's jump into politics and global affairs. A really significant development seems to be progress in the Israel-Iran ceasefire talks in Geneva.
That's right. European mediators are reporting both sides have agreed, at least for now, to a pause in hostilities after those recent airstrikes.
And the big question for you listening is probably, does this ease global oil prices? Could it, calm things down a bit?
Well, potentially. Any ceasefire definitely gives the financial markets a bit of breathing room. Psychologically, it's important. And yeah, it could lead to a temporary dip in oil prices because the geopolitical risk premium goes down.
But temporary is the key word there.
It often is.
Yeah.
Sustained stability in oil markets usually needs more than just a pause. It depends on broader regional de-escalation, the bigger supply and demand picture. So it's positive, but markets will be watching closely for something more lasting.
Got it. Okay, meanwhile, switching focus. Russia and China are holding joint naval drills in the Pacific. What's the message there, especially for, say, Japan and the U.S.?
Well, it's a clear signal, isn't it? Strengthening strategic ties between Moscow and Beijing. And yeah, it definitely sends a message about their growing military cooperation in a region where the U.S. and allies like Japan have major security interests. It just highlights this shifting global power dynamic.
A definite contrast, though, on the positive side. Kenya signing a trade deal with the EU, focused on agricultural exports.
Exactly. This is potentially a really big deal for Kenya's economy. It opens up significant European markets for their produce. Think fresh fruit, vegetables, even flowers.
Good for Kenyan farmers and maybe good for European consumers, too.
Absolutely. It helps diversify supply chains for the EU, potentially bringing in high-quality goods. It's a good example of how these targeted trade agreements can work.
Okay, shifting to domestic policy now. Brazil's president is pushing for stricter anti-deforestation laws for the Amazon. That feels, well, critical.
Oh, absolutely critical. The Amazon is just so vital for global climate regulation. It's a massive carbon sink. Stricter laws, if they're enforced effectively, could seriously curb illegal logging.
It's not just about biodiversity, it's about global climate, really.
Precisely. It impacts weather patterns, carbon cycles, everything. It's a global resource.
And over in India, the Prime Minister inaugurated a new AIIMS hospital in Bihar. AIIMS being their premier medical institutes. That sounds like a direct boost to healthcare access.
It really is. Expanding access to top-tier medical facilities like AIIMS is crucial, especially in more rural or underserved areas. It tackles healthcare gaps directly.
Okay, let's pivot to where this hits your wallet maybe at business and economy. Global markets seem to stabilize a bit on the 21st. Dow up 0.8%, NASDAQ 1.0%, and that's linked back to the Middle East news.
Directly linked, yes. It shows that easing of immediate tension gives investors some confidence back. Markets are just incredibly sensitive to stability, especially in critical regions like the Middle East.
So for you listening, are your investments seeing a bit of a bounce back?
It's certainly a welcome sign for investors for your portfolio. Yeah, a rebound like this helps, but sustained growth. That depends on the broader economy and whether that geopolitical calm actually holds.
Looking at specific sectors driving things, India's IT sector grew 7%. Big driver seems to be demand for AI and cloud services.
Yeah, that's significant growth. It really highlights India's strength as a hub for talent and innovation in these key tech areas. AI, cloud, they're not just providing services, they're really shaping future tech.
And speaking of tech components, South Korea's semiconductor exports hit a record high. That must be a massive boost for their economy.
Oh, enormous. Semiconductors are, well, they're everything these days, powering phones, cars, AI. South Korea's strength there gives them huge economic leverage. Record exports mean global demand is strong.
Sticking with trade, Canada is imposing tariffs on Chinese aluminum imports. That sounds like it could raise costs for manufacturers.
It definitely could. It's often a move to protect domestic industries, maybe from suspected dumping or subsidies. But yeah, these tariffs don't just hit the companies importing the aluminum.
It could trickle down.
Exactly. It can raise prices for you on things made with aluminum cars, cans, you name it. It forces companies to rethink supply chains. And it's part of this broader trend towards more protectionism, perhaps.
And circling back to oil prices, Nigeria increasing its oil production is apparently helping stabilize global crude prices.
Yeah, Nigeria is a major African producer, so any increase in their output adds to global supply. In a jumpy market, that extra supply can act as a bit of a buffer against price spikes from, say, instability elsewhere. Helps create a bit more predictability for energy costs.
Okay, let's switch gears fully to technology. There was a critical safety item, the Air India crash investigation, pointing to software issues in the Boeing 787-88. That prompted fleet-wide checks.
Right, and when we talk software issues in planes like the 787, it's not like a glitch on your phone.
Hmm.
We're talking potentially complex flaws in systems that manage flight controls, navigation, really fundamental stuff.
So these checks are absolutely essential.
Paramount. Even one hidden defect could affect multiple planes. Safety has to come first, so immediate checks and fixes are crucial.
Looking ahead, Amazon CEO announced AI agents are going to streamline their logistics, potential to cut delivery times. How else might AI reshape things for you beyond just getting packages faster?
Well, Amazon's move is a good example. AI can process insane amounts of data traffic, weather, inventory way faster than humans to optimize things like delivery routes. But that same principle applies everywhere.
Like healthcare.
Yeah, like in healthcare, analyzing patient data for diagnoses. Or in finance, spotting fraud patterns. It's about using predictive intelligence to make systems, well, just more efficient and responsive.
Japan's definitely thinking future tech, too. Launching a 6G research initiative, aiming to lead by 2030. Imagine the speeds that could bring for you.
The leap from 5G to 6G, it's expected to be massive. We're talking speeds maybe hundreds, even 1,000 times faster than 5G. Ultra-low latency.
So not just faster downloads.
Not at all. It enables things that sound like science fiction, now holographic calls, truly immersive VR, widespread autonomous systems. It could really change how we interact with everything.
And on the green tech front, a German startup's developing new battery recycling tech. Could cut EV production costs. That might make EVs more affordable for you down the line.
That's a really key area. Battery costs, especially the raw materials, are a big hurdle for EVs. Better recycling means recovering valuable stuff like lithium, cobalt, reducing mining.
Trading a circular economy for batteries.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which makes EVs cheaper and more sustainable. That's how you get to mass adoption.
Plus, Singapore's AI healthcare platform improving diagnostics. That's happening now.
Yeah, it shows the immediate benefits. These AI systems can analyze scans, records, lab results incredibly quickly, sometimes spotting things humans might miss. It means earlier diagnosis, better treatment. It's a big step for personalized medicine.
Okay, from tech to turf, let's hit global passions. Sports, entertainment, and culture. Big day for India's cricket team, securing a 3-0 T20 series lead against England. Shubman Gill hitting a century. Can they sweep?
Well, 3-0 is commanding in T20. Gill's form is clearly excellent. A sweep's definitely possible, but, T20, things can turn quickly. England will fight hard. Still, sets up an exciting finish.
Also noted, U.S. Open golf heading into a tight final round. Brazil's women won gold in South American volleyball. Nigeria's men advanced in World Cup soccer qualifiers. And Australia's rugby team prepping for a tough test against New Zealand. A real global mix.
It really is. Golf, volleyball, soccer, rugby. These headlines show how sports just connect people everywhere. National pride, shared excitement.
Moving to entertainment, a new Bollywood film, Kubera, earned €10 crore on day one. That's a huge opening.
Massive opening. Shows the incredible pull of Bollywood, not just in India, but globally. That kind of buzz signals huge anticipation.
And South Africa's Jazz Festival in Cape Town drew global artists. Great to see culture bringing people together.
Festivals like that are so important. They showcase global talent, local heritage, and just connect diverse audiences through music.
In London, a new play about climate change got critical acclaim. Art tackling big issues.
Yeah, it shows art's power for social commentary. Theater can make something complex like climate change feel more immediate and personal, sparking conversation.
Plus, Japan's anime industry reported record exports. You might be seeing more streaming hits. And Mexico's Oaxaca Festival showcased indigenous crafts.
Both great examples of cultural exports. Anime's global reach via streaming is phenomenal, and showcasing indigenous crafts preserves heritage and introduces unique art to the world.
Okay, let's look at environment and science. India's monsoon brought heavy rains to Karnataka, easing drought concerns significantly there.
Yeah, the monsoon is just crucial for India. Those rains are a massive relief for farming, water supply in Karnataka, a reminder of how dependent we are on these natural cycles.
And a Canadian study is advancing carbon capture tech, potential to cut emissions by maybe 20%. That seems huge for climate change efforts.
It's very significant. Carbon capture aims to trap CO2 emissions, either at the source or from the air. A potential 20% cut from one advancement suggests we're making real progress towards tech solutions that could work alongside renewables and efficiency.
Also, Australia is expanding its koala conservation program to protect key habitats.
Vital work. Koalas face so many threats. Habitat loss, fires. Expanding protection means securing land, restoring habitats, trying to ensure their survival. It's about the whole ecosystem.
And finally, in space, China's lunar probe collected new soil samples. Good for science.
Invaluable, really.
Yeah.
Lunar samples tell us about the moon's history, its geology, potential resources like water ice. Analyzing these helps understand our solar system's origins and plan future missions.
And wrapping up with what really makes these briefings resonate, the events and human stories. Like the Ghanaian farmer whose irrigation system boosted crops and supported 1,000 families.
Just a brilliant example of local innovation solving fundamental problems. Simple irrigation transforming livelihoods, boosting food security, grassroots solutions making a huge difference.
Or the U.S. nurse with a mobile clinic providing free care in rural areas.
So important for bridging healthcare gaps, reaching people who might otherwise go without basic care, preventative services. It's about dedication, improving community health.
The Indian engineer creating low-cost prosthetics, changing lives for amputees.
Yeah, making mobility affordable. That's life-changing. It enables people to regain independence, pursue education, work, challenges limitations.
And the Brazilian student whose app is helping 5,000 kids improve their literacy.
Fantastic use of tech for education. Literacy is so foundational. An accessible app can really boost learning, especially where resources are scarce. It's an investment in the future.
So putting it all together, what does this single day's snapshot tell us? We've seen everything from ceasefire talks and market shifts to AI advances, environmental action, and these really powerful human stories.
It just underscores how interconnected everything is, doesn't it? Events ripple across sectors, across the globe, and eventually impact your life, sometimes in unexpected ways. Being informed isn't about drowning in data.
Right.
It's about seeing those connections, understanding the why behind the headlines, and how global events touch your local world.
Exactly. So, based on these threads we pulled from just this one day, the geopolitics, the tech race, the human ingenuity, what do you think might be the big story next week? Which bit from today's dive makes you most curious to follow up on? Keep that curiosity going and remember the power of staying informed.